Yo, I'm Mickey Factz,
At Wizard.
I'm Pete Rock.
and this is our love-hate relationship with comic culture. All right, yo, welcome comic fans. I'm Mickey Factz, and I'm joined each and every week by Tat Wizard and the one and only Pete Rock as we debate the comic industry, Marvel and DC movies. Now, when we get started with this, man, let's just give a brief introduction into how we all got into comic culture. You know what I'm saying? Let's start with you, Cap. Let's start with you, Tat.
Alright, yeah, comic culture. I think my first comic book was Power Man and Iron Fist. I'm a black kid with a white mom's, lived in the hood. That shit just struck a chord with me, and it was like this black guy and this white guy going and doing these adventures, being strong, couldn't be defeated. Well, could be in jams, but came out victorious. And I was like, yo, this shit is fire. So those are my two guys. Really, the only comics I owned at first, because I would go to the comic shop and read and put it down, because growing up wasn't really always cool to be walking with the comic book around. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's how I was doing it. But the love is there. The love is there. And then I got into when the TV shows and the cartoons and everything started moving. I was like, this is my world. You know what I'm saying? So that's where my love was at first. You know what I mean?
Pete, what about you, brother?
Um, my love started since I was young, like when I was like 4 years old, and I discovered Submariner comic book, and then I discovered Submariner with the Hulk comic book, and then I gravitated more towards the Hulk as my favorite because of his powers or whatever, the gamma and the muscles and the stronger the matter he gets, the stronger he gets. I was feeling that, and then it went from that into all the other heroes: Spidey, Iron Man, um, Captain America, Thor, um, and then some of the obscure guys, or the ones you don't really see much, um, like Giant Man. Then you had, but he was also Pym, um, Hank, but his name was Giant Man then. But somehow he became Ant Man or something crazy like that. I don't remember. I didn't read Ant Man as much as I read Hulk and Spidey and all everybody else. But and then it went from the comics to TV, of course. Spidey, the Spidey TV show, the Hulk TV show, Wonder Woman, um, Shazam, you know, Isis, the mighty Isis, and then from there, it was just I took on that whole persona on superheroism and just kind of walked in through life with it like that.
Crazy. Well, for me, man, my cousin has some Superman comics laying around, just random Superman comics, and I started reading those.
Mm,
And then when I was going to school, they used to have the Marvel cards, like the cards. And so we would collect cards. We would buy a pack of cards for like 50, 75 cents.
yeah,
And that's how I got my knowledge in comics. It wasn't really like the actual comic books. It was the trading cards. And with the trading cards, I was able to learn so much. And
That
I have a very good memory. So I retained so much knowledge. And the
yeah,
next thing you know, Fox is putting out the animated cartoon show X-Men. And
yeah,
then that's when I started to finally buy my own comics aside from the comic collectible cards. So that's really my introduction to the culture. Now let's kind of pivot real quick. I'm gonna
yeah.
start with Pete
Mm,
right here, right?
mm, mm.
Your top five favorite comic characters.
Hulk, Spider Man, Luke Cage,
Mm.
um, um, X-Men,
The whole X Men
and the Defenders.
and the Defenders. All right, for me, Spider Man, Reed Richards. I love Reed Richards. That's my man.
Fantastic
100
Four. Yeah.
grand. Um, Bruce, love Bruce. Yo, man, this is gonna be a controversial one, but yo, I love Cyclops, B. I like Cyclops.
Okay.
My
I
favorite
like
X-Men
Cyclops.
is Wolverine.
Facts. Facts.
Wolverine.
Cyclops, and Iceman. Those are my top
Bobby
five. I
Drake.
love Cyclops. I like the fact that people don't like him. I think I like Cyclops. B.
Cyclops a dick
Tat.
though. Cyclops a dick though. But top five. Oh man. All right, y'all probably gonna get at me, but I gotta be honest. Storm, man. Storm is so fire to me. You know what I'm saying?
Nah,
Like she
man, that's
might
Yeah.
be
cold.
my
No.
number one, but I'm not sure. I mean, like I said, Luke, Power Man, Danny, Iron Fist. You know, TV show aside, Iron Fist is the fucking man. So you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, Damn, top five. I mean, of course. I mean, it's like because of course Hulk. You know, of course Spidey. Um, I'm gonna keep it 1,000 though, right? I'm a Marvel head, y'all know that.
Yeah.
But like Superman, B.
Well, I'm a Marvel head too. Y'all know that, right?
That's a fact.
Okay. Batman is my favorite DC character.
All right,
I like Batman. Batman is
Batman,
love.
man. I ain't gonna hold you.
My
Batman's the man.
favorite.
Batman might
I
be a better billionaire than Tony. I don't know. You know, he's a little bit more
Definitely.
prepared.
Yeah, I think so. I think so. I
He
think
More
is.
so.
prepared.
He
I would have
see
to agree.
compared Bruce Wayne compared to Tony Stark. Stark is kind of like he's not thugged out like Bruce.
You're a rich
I agree.
playboy asshole, but Bruce be he be on some. I'm a play this game, but I got you locked in. I know what you at. I know what you do before I even talk to you, so I ain't worried about it. You know,
Right.
100%.
Right.
Yeah.
So what are some comic characters that y'all disgusted by? Like your three characters that y'all don't like, because we need to make sure that the
Hmm.
people that's listening to us, they could get a gist of our like
Our base.
character build. You
Mhm.
know what I'm saying? So like
Hmm.
Tat, who's three characters that you are disgusted by
Trusted
in the
by.
in the Marvel or DC universe?
See, it's hard because I be liking the villains.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? Me personally, like I fucks with Doom. Like that's my guy. You know what I'm
Yeah, that's
saying?
the homie. That's the homie.
Um, I, I like Namor, but he is an asshole. You know what I'm saying? Like you gotta be
Is
honest
he a
about it. Like
hero or is he a hero or is he a
he,
fucking
he's a hero to his
bully?
people. He's a bully for sure. Because when he want what he want, he gonna just take the shit. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Right.
Um, and that's one of the things like why we even go to comics because we don't like the real life versions of that. You know what I'm saying? So that's why it resonates with us. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
So Namor, he a bit of an. I mean, I can't say I'm disgusted by any of the characters. I like all of them. I mean,
Yeah.
I
I can't
might
say I dislike anybody. Maybe Wonder Man.
Wonder Man. You don't like Simon.
Nah.
Nigga called him Simon.
Yeah, he called him by his government.
That's
I
crazy.
don't. I don't. I'm. Hmm. Uh. This includes villains or just straight heroes.
Yeah, villains too. Villains too. Villains too.
Um. Craven.
All
Wow, you don't
right.
like Craven?
You know what? I
Well,
get it. Like
Wow.
he a little boring.
Wow.
yeah, and
Okay.
then to put a movie out without telling him going through
Nah, we
Spider
got to
Man
get
is
into.
whack. We got to
Okay.
wait for that one. All
Well, I
right.
mean, there's a
Yeah,
whole
yeah.
dynamic there. Like, yes, you're 100% right. To put a movie out on that character that isn't even one of the top tier Sinister Six or Spidey
Exactly.
villains, and him to be a little boring. But even aside from that, the Sony verse as a whole, if we talking disgusted, The
Yeah,
Sonyverse as a whole, I'm disgusted by.
yeah,
Hmm.
me too. Because
Yeah,
of
me
these
too.
villain movies that are just not being done right and being thrown out because they have the rights and they're not even interested in how the story goes. They just making it their way, which is trash.
I
Trash.
agree. So I got some controversial ones, man. I ain't
Hmm.
gonna lie, guys. Top three disgusted people I'm disgusted by. Wolverine.
What?
Wolverine, man.
What?
Oh, hold on. Let
Wolverine.
this is interesting. Let him finish. Let him finish.
How?
Wolverine. Let me
How?
finish the rest though. Let me
Let
finish the
this
rest though.
crazy.
Wolverine. I do not like Wolverine.
Come on, man.
I do not like Lex Luthor because it's just annoying that Superman just don't kill him. It's ridiculous, right? It's just like what?
But is that
What do you
Lex or is
even?
that Superman?
That's Lex. I don't like Superman, but I don't like him to the point where I'm disgusted by him. I'm disgusted by Wolverine. I'm disgusted by Lex Luthor. Um,
I don't like Lex's attitude.
I just don't like Lex. Period. And I do. I'm not a fan of Robert Downey Jr.'s Iron Man.
Okay.
All right. So let me tell y'all why I'm disgusted by Wolverine. I'm disgusted by Wolverine because people be making it seem like this guy is the best ever.
Hmm.
And there's been multiple times where he's gotten his ass kicked in multiple comics, multiple cartoon
Hulk.
shows. He just got the aggression and the claws. But I could pull up comics where the Wasp whipped his ass, where Spider-Man whipped his ass, where Hulk whipped his ass. He be beating up robots, ninjas, and Sabretooth. But he maybe because they don't let him loose and go real crazy and kill some of these heroes,
Yeah.
it don't be looking like he's really built like
But
that.
he's
So
The
that's why
Barrage.
he's the
I'm
man
not a
of
fan.
getting knocked down and getting back up though and getting the
I'm
job
not a fan
done.
of that. I'm not a
He's a
fan of that.
healer,
I'm
bro. He's a healer,
I'm
bro.
Yeah.
good.
You can't
I'm
beat
good
that,
on
bro.
him.
That's like
I'm good
real
on
life
him.
shit right there. You know what I'm saying?
I'm good on him. I'm good on
Him
him.
and the
He's
Hulk
trash to me.
heal. They heal. Hulk whooped
Right.
his ass too.
Then they
Yeah, but
When
became
now
he
more.
Hulk be smacking people around in the comics. Not like in the movies. Hulk be smacking them around in the comics.
Hold on.
But
Don't get people started.
Logan, not a fan of Logan. Not a fan of Logan.
Man,
And I'm
I
not a
am.
fan of Robert Downey Jr. When he died in Endgame, I cheered.
that's
I was very
crazy.
happy. I was very happy.
They coming
Very
for
happy.
you, bro. They coming
Oh
You
yeah,
know
yeah.
what?
Pull up. Pull
You
up.
know what though? I think Iron Man should have lasted way longer, man. They killed him too early, too fast.
He'll be back.
I mean, yeah, we
Yeah,
all
but
know
he'll
he
be
coming
back
back in
on some
Secret Wars.
bullshit, on some
He'll
ghost
be back
shit.
I mean, contracts,
variant.
man. Hollywood, it is what it is. They runs the world. I think he was a crazy dope as Tony Stark.
The problem is,
Um,
do the
and,
story, please. Read the comic books. Do some. I mean, follow something.
well,
And
I
I
mean,
I'm
do
not
agree.
saying you got to do the actual comic book story. You could just take do the comic book story, but just enhance it a little bit, man.
I agree.
but
I agree with Pete.
but all right. Just like in the comics, there's variants to these stories, which they are now even expressing in the MCU with variants themselves in the multiverse. There's different ways that these story goes at different
If you
times.
talk, if you
We
talking about
don't
Phase
always,
Four, bro,
but we don't. No, we hold on. Let's get to let's establish first because there's I know there's a
He's
lot.
let's
ready.
go Phase
He's
One.
ready.
But look,
Let's
we
go
don't read
Phase
all the
One.
comics. We don't know all of the storylines. How do you
I
know
read a
that
lot
they're
of
not
comics.
following the stories?
I read a lot of comics.
I feel you, but you ain't read them all.
I'm saying I read a lot of comics.
These stories be
I read
happening in the
I
comics.
read
They just
enough.
not the ones that we know, which just makes
Yeah.
sense because they want to. They want to widen the audience and they want to pull in people, and they're being inclusive and they're grabbing people just like Black Panther did in 2018, where all of these black people came that had no clue of what was going on with the comics, and now they're in and they're fans and they want to know what's up, which that's a whole other story, what's going on with T'Challa and all of that. So obviously.
Right. So that's a perfect
Oh,
segue, right?
yes.
Let's just jump right into it. Pete,
Yeah.
what do you love about comic book movies?
The fact that they're alive and on big screen. And this is something that I used to read in a book and read the
Mm.
captions and pretend the action was live and it was working. Then when Marvel Superheroes, the cartoon, came out of the actual comic book drawings, you know what I'm saying? You know, that piqued my interest. And then now today, when Blade first hit and Spidey, I was like, I was in awe when in phase one.
Tat, what do
Well,
you love about comic book movies?
and I don't want to keep being a stickler, but Blade was not phase one. But
Yes, it was.
Blade was not the MCU. Phase one
Wait,
is,
Blade, wait. Blade was the very first
yeah,
Marvel
but it wasn't
box
the
off.
MCU.
Not the
It was
MCU.
Marvel,
Oh,
but it wasn't
but
done by
MC.
Marvel Studios. It was done
Oh, you talking
by,
MC,
but yeah, it was done by, I forget.
Amin Ra or something like that?
Well, that is actually
Avi Arad.
Wesley's
Avi Arad.
production
Avia
company.
Ra.
That was Wesley's production company. So I love the
Oh,
fact, speaking of Blade, that
yeah.
Wesley himself lived right off of, when I say live, like he ate really well off of it, right? He killed the performance. We loved it. He brought in a huge fan base, and he probably is the catalyst that really got Marvel Studios starting to get ready to go, right? Before they brought in the X-Men and before
Mm,
they brought in Spider-Man with
mm,
Toby and all of that, and the X-Men
mm,
with Fox. Before that was Blade. He was the blueprint of like, okay, these movies can work and we're going to keep going from here, right? Kevin Feige was like, I got the vision, and here we go. He produced the X-Men on Fox. He was part of the team that did the Sony Spider-Man with Toby and even Andrew, and then into the point to where he was like, put Disney in a position like, yo, we need our own studios. We need to be making these ourselves. And Iron Man with RDJ was the first movie in phase one of the MCU.
of the
Everything before
MCU.
that is pre MCU. But
Okay.
that, on
But
speaking
it
of,
was Marvel though
it was
involved.
Marvel. It was Marvel, but you got to look at it like this: like they was all over the place. Marvel licensed out, and which is why we're jammed up with Universal and Sony now. They were all over the place of how they were trying to put their how they're trying to put their content out, because their only goal was to have content enough to the masses that people would want to go buy comic books. And Feige was
Mm,
the one that was like, comic books are it, right? That's the baseline. But we can have real content just like the comics that are bringing money even more than the comics and really make this thing thrive. And he's the visionary that brought us to MCU. Aside from y'all disgusted by Phase 4, I get it. What
disgusted.
I hear it. I'm
Can
not
we
Right.
disgusted,
can we
but I
skip
know why.
phase three and go to phase four?
Yeah, yeah. We listen. We got you. We got you. We gonna get there. I just want to see what
Horrible.
Tat what Tat.
Well,
What do you love about
well,
comic book
I
movies?
love it all. Like I look at it a little different. I liked or loved, always loved. When I say liked, even loved, the, like Pete mentioned earlier, Spider Man. I like Spider Man on Electric Company. I liked the Captain America on a fucking nasty ass motorcycle. I love I love Wonder Woman. I love I mean, of course, Bill Bixby, the Hulk. That's iconic and classic even to this day. Even
Yes.
with all of the CGI and the crazy stuff that's going on in
Yep.
the MCU, Bill Bixby's Incredible Hulk is going to be one of the number one TV shows of all time for me, right?
And
I love
yeah,
the evolution of it. I love when the we got excited in the '90s when the X that music came on for the X like I love all of it. You know what I'm saying? And then when we finally did get the MCU and they put Iron Man on the fucking big screen, right?
Crazy.
It was
and it was a good
incredible,
movie.
right?
Yeah,
And then they followed it up right away with Ed Norton's Hulk with a cutscene of RDJ in the fucking bar with Ross. Like I was like,
that was
this is
crazy.
coming together.
That
This
was
is
crazy. As
coming
soon as I
together.
seen him walk in the bar and his like the silhouette of Downey, I was like, oh, that's Tony
No,
Stark.
it was like, oh shit, like this is really coming together. Now I get the
Mm-hmm.
arguments of Phase Four, but we're spoiled. you know, even knowing I loved all of that content that came before, when Phase Four came, I was like, oh shit, I'm not going to the
But
movies
you liked
anymore.
Phase Four. You liked
No,
everything
no,
about
I
Phase
did,
Four.
but hold on, Pete. I'm not going to the movies anymore to see a fucking whack ass Fantastic Four, which is one of my favorite groups of all time.
Right.
So I'm like,
Right.
oh, this is really going up. Now I get why y'all dislike Phase Four, but tell me anything in Phase Four looks worse than what came before the MCU. Period.
I
Period.
All right,
actually liked
we gonna get
Fantastic Four.
we're gonna get to that. We're gonna get to that. I mean, why I love comic book movies is, like I'm with Pete. You know what I'm saying? The comics came to life. Those cards that I collected when I was younger, they came to life. And I was able to see movement, see actors that, we grew up loving, playing our favorite characters and putting words to it and seeing real human beings, what superhero life could be from an action adventure standpoint. I think that was just fantastic to kind of see. So now let's turn the corner, because this is what the podcast is named after.
Yeah,
Our love hate relationship with comics,
yeah.
right? And I'm gonna spin it back to Tat, then I'll go, and then we're gonna have the illustrious Pete Rock close this out with why he hates it. But let's start with Tat. What do you hate about comic book movies right now?
Um, I do hate like pieces. I don't hate the content overall, as y'all know. But I do hate pieces that have happened within the MCU as we were coming along, which made me look at myself and like I'm a little spoiled. I get it, but I thought Dark World was atrocious. Thor 2. I didn't like Thor. Thor was boring to me. But I was excited to see how it was going to keep going, and I liked that when he was in the Avenger movie and all of the other stuff that he was doing, so I was okay with it. I love Ragnarok. You know what I'm saying? So I knew that it was a process, but there were pieces. Pre MCU, I liked the first two Fantastic Four, but the third one was like, what the fuck was that? What the fuck was that?
Yeah,
A
yeah,
fucking
yeah.
guy coming out of the thing and starting being elongated.
Doom,
I'm like,
Doom.
this
What
is
about
Reed
Doom?
Richards.
Doom was whack.
Doom was whack. Doom was whack. So it was there's pieces to it. The third the third Toby and the no third Andrew. Like there were
Yeah.
pieces to all of this that was like, all right, that's whack, that's whack. You know what I'm saying? The Sony verse. Don't get me fucking started on the Sony verse. Like this fuckers
Get you
fucking
started.
Venom. It's Morbin time. What's the fuck is going on? You know what I'm saying? Shit like that. But even then, I will go waste my money to see some shit that I know I'm gonna fucking not like, because
Mm,
I love the culture as a whole, and I just want to
yeah.
see how much I'm gonna hate it versus how much I love the other shit. That's just where I'm at.
Okay, so for me, man, I hate the rumors, man. I hate the speculation. I hate I hate the tapping in and thinking you're gonna get one thing and then you get something else and it's not living up to the hype. You know what I'm saying?
Trailers and that sometimes. Trailers.
WandaVision did me dirty. You
Yep.
know what I'm
The
saying?
ending, only the
Like,
ending, only the ending.
oh yeah, yeah, yeah. The last episode did me filthy. You know what I'm saying? Doctor Strange. I wanted to see more of the multiverse. I didn't get a chance to see. So all of these rumors and all of the speculation and speculatory, you know, thoughts that people send out there, that's for me what I hate the most about comic book movies. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, if a comic book movie is whack, I hate that too. But I really despise when rumors don't come to life because they make it seem like it's pure truth. And last but not least, before we close this episode out, Pete Rock, what
Yo,
do you, my brother, my OG, hate about comic book movies?
bad writers.
That's fair.
Bad writers who can easily take the old story and keep it the same, but enhance it just a little bit. I don't like a bad story.
That's fair.
A bad story fucks up everything.
I agree.
Even how a fucking hero performs his powers, superpowers sometimes. You know what I'm saying? I get pissed off, you know, when I see a hero not living up to what, you know, or doing something else other than what he's supposed to be doing. You know what I mean? And, you know, and just not following the script, man, of a story, man. Because I read these stories. I read the books. I know what time it is. I know what it is. You know, I know I'm a little pissed off because I'm like, what is this? The Ang Lee Hulk story. That shit was, what the fuck was that?
Terrible.
That's fair.
That's why you gotta respect Ed Norton's version because he paid homage.
He did.
So that's where I'm at with it, man.
All right, man. Well, listen, man, that's our show. Follow our love-hate relationship with comic culture and send us your thoughts, man, through Instagram at Comic Culture Podcast. Let us know what you think about the show. Make sure you like and subscribe here on YouTube, and make sure you subscribe on Apple, Spotify, or wherever you listen to podcasts. Leave us a rating on Apple and spread the word, comic fans. Until next week, where we're going to be talking about Ant-Man and the Wasp, the Quantumania trailer. I'm Mickey Factz.
I'm Tat Wizard.
Pete Rock.
We'll see you next week. Peace.
Salute.
Our love-hate relationship with comic culture is produced by Spaceman World Media. Follow the show on Insta at Comic Culture Podcast.